What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mr. Future Comedy, and today we're gonna do a little something different. I'm a huge fan of gameranx's channel. They do definitely show a lot of trick and trades when it comes to certain games and keeping everybody updated on what's going on. Pretty cool for them to be able to get that out to the public, especially for new gamers, people that don't know much about certain games. They can definitely find it on this channel. So shout out to Jake Balladino and also Falcon. So what we're gonna be doing today essentially is just reacting to their video. This video is top 8 new games coming out in May. You know your boy is definitely trying to get some moves in and see what's going on. Put in my AirPods. Speaking of that, look at my AirPods.
Nice.
Yo, my mom got it for me when she went out on vacation. Sony for life!
May is upon us, and that means a bunch of new games are upon us. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, the top 8 new games of May.
Let's see what they got.
Starting off with number 8, it's Trek to Yomi. Now, this is a really interesting looking title.
Okay.
You don't see a lot of full black and white games, and we're getting that for a very specific reason. This is a samurai game that's intended to be presented very cinematically. And in a lot of ways, it reminds me of kind of what I thought 3D video games would look like before we really saw 3D video games. Like, it's a hack and slash adventure, kind of 2.5D, but sometimes 3D, stylized experience.
You know, this game reminds me a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima, just the way that it looks, because you can play Ghost of Tsushima in white and black, and you can also play it in a different language, which is pretty fire. So for all my anime lovers out there, because I ain't gonna cap, I love sub. You feel me? I'll watch a dub here and there, but you feel me? You know, the voice acting is just a little bit better for me. But this game looks pretty cool. It's a hack and slash. It's a samurai game. I like those type of games. And it's also 2D, 3D. That's amazing. It's definitely different than playing an open world
experience. And in truth, it looks like it's probably just a massive amount of fun.
Yeah.
But further than that, I kind of like the idea that this kind of 3D, this cinematic, kind of fixed camera, stylistic, visual-oriented type of gameplay is getting some attention, because it's a game that a lot of people are talking about more than I would have expected. And that's partly because I think Devolver Digital is the publisher and they've got a pretty big publicity arm at this point. But I also think part of it is that the potential of this game, if it pans out, is one that could really have a big influence on not just samurai games, but hack and slash games in general. It looks as though it's taking a slightly more artful approach, however, without sacrificing any of the fun gameplay. Like, the combat looks absolutely enjoyable. So I've got my fingers crossed on this one. Trek to Yomi comes out on PC, the PlayStations, and the Xboxes on May 5th.
Yeah, I'll definitely be copping this game. I do agree with what he says. It does give an interesting look in regards to the samurai RPG hack and slash, so it does look pretty cool. And it does look very cinematic. Ghost of Tsushima was very cinematic as well. So, I mean, it just didn't have this type of layout. But it would have been very interesting to see Ghost of Tsushima go in this route. That would have been very different. But this game looks amazing. Like, I'm definitely going to consider buying this mug.
At number 7 is My Time at Sandrock, which comes to us from the developers of My Time at Portia, Pathia Games, and looks to sort of continue that series. Now, Portia was looked at as sort of an alternative to Stardew Valley, which was
this looked good.
Added a little bit more in the way of combat mechanics, etc., and is regarded to be a pretty good game. My Time at Sandrock is a sort of desert version of this. In some ways, it feels like it takes on the character of a Wild West city builder, except for there's so much more to it. It also clearly retains the Ghibli-inspired aesthetic.
This game looks hella animated
on that as well. These games are fun because they take place 300 years after an apocalypse where modern technology is basically destroyed.
Look at that.
And it feels a lot like a sort of self-aware industrial revolution action-adventure farm city sim, at least from how it looks to me. I think it looks like a tremendously fun game. The other one is a lot of fun, although I will say my experience with it is a little limited. It's one that I put a little bit of time into, and I do think, at least based on my experience with it, that it earned its reputation as a really good alternative to Stardew Valley.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of this series before, so I guess this is a sequel. This game looks hella animated, and it does look mad fun. It seems like it's got some action in it. It's just not no farm type regular Sally Dally type game. This looks like it's got some adventure and it's got some type of nice story behind it. Might not be a game that I would get, might consider it, but trust me, there are a lot more games out there that I would probably be putting my hands on.
I'm excited for this one because it looks like they've expanded a lot of the systems, and that's not to say the previous one had limited systems. It certainly didn't, but it almost looks like it's attempting to go further in terms of what it is to separate itself from Stardew
It looks
Valley
really
some,
cool, though.
and I really like to
I
see
might
that.
consider
My
it.
time at Sandrock is coming to PC, early access, May 26th.
And it's only on PC.
And number
but I do
6 is
have a PC
Warhammer
now.
40k Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, a reboot of 1998's Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate. Now, the whole point of this one is that there is a plague that is going to be unleashed unless you find it, purge it, and stop the plan in what they're calling a cinematic, story-driven, fast-paced, turn-based tactical RPG. Now, beyond what you'll be doing in your turn-based tactical activities, you have a base of operations, you'll have to be building new facilities and upgrading on. There's a research component to this game, and it's another game where the choices that you make are going to have large effects on the actual world. Some planets will actually end up falling to the plague depending on your choices. And for all intents and purposes, this looks like a pretty fun sort of fantasy sci-fi tactical RPG. I'm interested in it. I love the aesthetic. I think they've done a really good job rendering the Warhammer 40k universe in a way that's visually interesting. And I'll certainly give Demon Hunters a try when it arrives on PC May 5th.
Sheesh.
And number 5 is...
Looks pretty solid. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of the turn-based games. Usually, I mean, I can't even remember the last time I touched a turn-based game. But I feel like with games in general, graphics are just reaching the craziest level. Like, graphics nowadays are just stupid good. Like, it's ridiculous. And they make all games look amazing. Graphics are not the most important thing about a game, obviously. If it looks good to you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to play it. Like I said, I haven't played turn-based games like that for real, but it looks amazing, so y'all need to be checking out for that game if you like that type of play.
5 is Salt and Sacrifice, a follow-up to a 5-year-old game called Salt and Sanctuary, developed by Ska Studios, a game that essentially works to adapt the Souls formula to a 2D game. The original is extremely well liked by a certain cult following, and it refines the combat of the original, which is a little more simple than the 3D Dark Souls type games. You can definitely see the type of Bloodborne influence on it, although I'd even characterize the combat as a little simpler than that. Given the updates in a lot of games that we've seen over the last couple of years, they've also added a grappling hook, which is usually a mechanic that works better in 2D. So between that and the otherwise great and probably tighter combat built on the originals, Salt and Sacrifice should shape up to be a pretty darn good side-scrolling action RPG. It's coming May 10th to PS4, PS5, and PC. And number 4 is MX vs. ATV.
That looks pretty different. I'm not gonna lie. I played a 2D type game like that. What was it? Guacamelee. I like. My sister loves playing that game, so I was thinking about knocking out a video for that. But I like the way that the game, especially with the added grapple, that's pretty cool. The combat looked mad slow though. I don't know about that. It looked very, very slow. But I mean, shoot, you never know. These games do be looking pretty solid. Oh, but would I grab it? Probably not.
ATV Legends, the latest in the MX versus ATV
MX
series.
versus
Basically,
ATV?
it's an off-road racing game. The whole idea is to become a professional off-road rider, where the better you play, the more fans you get, the more sponsors you get, etc., etc. There's a career mode, there's online multiplayer, there's also local multiplayer, which is nice. This is the kind of game that I do enjoy in kind of a 2-player split-screen situation. It kind of takes me back to the Nintendo 64. This is a series that's always had some pretty good track design. Between the 2-wheelers and the 4-wheelers, it's just a hell of a lot of fun. MX vs. ATV Legends lands on PC, the PlayStations, and the Xboxes May 24th. And number 3 is Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, a really different take on Vampire the Masquerade than the straight-up Bloodline sequel we are still waiting for, which got delayed last year and we have no idea when we will be seeing it. Swan Song is kind of a combination between a CRPG and a detective game, and it's more dialogue-based than anything else. I mean, you'll still be feeding on humans to maintain your form during the course of the investigations, because obviously if you don't maintain your form, you will pretty much blow the entire thing. But while this game probably won't satisfy the urge that that game is meant to, it does seem like there's a large amount of depth that developer Big Bad Wolf just really wants to mine. And I think that that's great because there is a whole lot of lore from the tabletop game, World of Darkness, on which all the Vampire the Masquerade games are based, that I think really does lend itself towards the type of game that they're attempting to make here. You've got 3 different protagonists, you're going to be doing some character building. It's not just like a Telltale game or an Ace Attorney game. It really looks like its own sort of thing. And that's exciting. I love detective games. I love seeing the different variations on the genre, and to see one set in the Vampire the Masquerade world, I'm very much there for it. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song comes out on PC, the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and Switch on May 19th.
You know, I heard about that game because I saw that the Telltales did get renewed for another Wolf Among Us, and I'm stupid excited to get my hands on that. But this game was very interesting, and I did see some stuff about it. But I mean, I don't know. I expected it to be more action packed and you doing versus it being one of those detective type games. So it might be pretty solid. You never know. It does look like it's got a little action in it versus it playing like Detroit vs. Human. Looks like it's got some stuff going on, so might be pretty interesting.
And number 2 is Evil Dead the Game, a game that has given us a lot of different things to chew on during the course of its development and gradual revealing of itself. The first time we saw it, we thought, oh, this looks like a Left 4 Dead type game. Then it was gradually revealed it's kind of an asymmetrical Dead by Daylight type game, and as more time has passed, it has gradually become obvious that it is both. It's both of these things, and I love that. That's actually exactly what it should be. Not only do you get the opportunity to do co-op modes and engage in different maps with big battles, there's also PvPvE modes. There's the ability to play as a Condrian demon and basically set up all of the problems and traps and pitfalls and entanglements that players will get into on the map. In all seriousness, this is a game with a ton of potential. I think that the way that they've shown it to us too has been really good because it's made us think about all of the different types of stuff that the various things they've shown us evoke. So we kind of know this is going to be a varied gameplay experience, and that's frankly exactly what I want out of it. Part of the problem of Dead by Daylight was that sometimes it could feel a little repetitive, and it looks like they're attempting to build beyond that model and give us something that works for a single player experience, works as a co-op experience, works as a competitive experience, and I like the sound of that. If this pans out, this is going to be, I think, the thing that really accomplishes what this developer has been trying to do for so long, and I'm really excited to play Evil Dead the Game when it comes out on PC, the PlayStation, the Xboxes, and Switch on May 13th.
Yo, that game looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people that play Dead by Daylight, but the one thing I didn't like about Dead by Daylight is that you can't really do nothing like in order to stop the killer from getting to you. Like, you can lay down the little Jan Stammies, but you can't fight, you can't shoot nobody or nothing. Friday 13th first came out, they had Tommy, who used to have the shotgun, and he can boom blow Jason's shit back. Jason's still mad OP, but they gave you the chance to fight, you feel me? And it added more to that game. But this game looks amazing, bro. Like, it gives you all that. You feel me? And it has the PvP, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This might be a banger, bro. I'm definitely gonna grab this. I didn't even know this game was coming out, but it looks amazing. So, yeah. Comment down below if you're gonna go ahead and grab this, because trust me, we gonna run some sessions on this for sure.
And finally, at number 1 is Sniper Elite 5. The genre-bending series lands a new entry that looks better than ever as you take on the sniping and third-person combat. It takes place in France in 1944, but it's not just sniping that this series is known for. The land traversal and detailed environments that entails are all here as well. There's also drop-in PvP as well as co-op, and of course, the Mortal Kombat-like kill cam. The slow-motion, X-ray, excruciatingly detailed death sequences that simultaneously make a kill both grisly as well as very satisfying. In all seriousness, this is a series that has only gotten better and better throughout its existence. It's won many awards for many good reasons, and this looks to be the most detailed, in-depth version of a world to drop you in to perform long-range kills that they've cooked up yet. It's really a good-looking game from a series that has never disappointed, always delivered. There's no reason to assume this is going to be anything other than a great entry in the Sniper Elite franchise. I enjoy these games. I think you will too, especially if you've played previous ones and enjoyed them. Sniper Elite 5 is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One on May 26th. Couple of bonus games for you. Deliver Us to the Moon first.
That does look
kind
pretty
of
smooth.
science fiction.
I've seen some gameplay on Sniper Elite, and I think Sniper Elite's pretty cool. But honestly, I be feeling like it's just like another game of it looks like another type of gameplay for like Snake. Like what's the game? What's the game called? It just looked like another Metal Gear Solid type gameplay, but I heard a lot about Sniper Elite, so I might check it out some more, because I definitely do want to get in my bag when it comes to different single player type games and see what's going on. But Sniper Elite might be a move, so yeah, we might check that thing out.
Action, thriller, adventure puzzle mishmash that tells an interesting story in some seemingly abandoned facilities on the moon, hoping to find a resource to end an energy crisis on Earth. Now, this game's a couple years old. It came out first on Windows back in 2018, came to PS4 and Xbox One back in 2020, and we'll be seeing a next-gen port here on May 19th on both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. Finally, it's Green Hell VR, a port of the survival game Green Hell from Incuvo, people who have done very good VR ports of various other games, introducing a lot of good motion controls to games that were otherwise not designed for motion controls, and we have every reason to assume that's exactly what the case is going to be here. Green Hell is, of course, a great survival game. Green Hell VR is launching on Steam VR. Not sure exactly of the date, but sometime during the month.
Who is these people? They look like they on some bullshit. Thanks everybody for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, me reacting to gaming news, definitely let me know down below, and also let me know which game you thought was the best out of this top 8 for new games coming out in May. Like I said, I'm highly excited for Evil Dead. I definitely will be grabbing that, and I think there's a lot of potential with that game, just like Falcon said. And it's a lot of potential in regards to creating some content around that. So I'm definitely going to be getting my hands on that thing. Other than that, like I said, appreciate everyone for stopping in and watching the video. Make sure that you drop that like and subscribe to the channel for some more content if you enjoy me. Other than that, peace!